Hey folks, welcome to a wide-angle broken Meeple review. Yes, I'm testing out this lens as I explained on my last top 10, so hopefully this is something you enjoy. Again, pass me some feedback in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But today, I'm reviewing a nice, simple Ticket to Ride London. Yes, this one, like New York, has been somewhat mixed feelings about. I mean, Ticket to Ride is probably the best gateway game that exists. It is an evergreen since 2004. Great simple design, so many maps, so many spin-offs, and it's about as perfect a gateway game as you can get. Well, Days of Wonder started going on this weird trend with the whole, making this miniature filler version of Ticket to Ride. They did it with New York last year, and now it's London, bringing it a bit closer to my home, I guess. And at first I was a little apprehensive about this, because I thought, really? I mean, Ticket to Ride's not that long a game, it's not that hard to transport. Do I really need something like this, a little gimmicky one? I thought, is it just going to be too much of a gimmick? Well, I played New York, and I thought it was decent enough, but, I wasn't a huge fan of the way you scored in it, and I just thought, okay, it's fine, it does what it says on the tin, it's fine. This one is pretty much 99% identical to New York, except they changed that scoring system that I'm a huge fan of and replaced it with a district system whereby if you connect up all the points in a district, you get some bonus points. I certainly prefer that for a kickoff. I mean, that's already an improvement, but Ticket to Ride London, if you're completely new to this whole thing, is essentially, a way to play Ticket to Ride in 15 minutes or less, 20 minutes tops. It's basically a smaller board. You had taxis in New York, this time you got buses, and you play Ticket to Ride in pretty much the same way you're used to. Collect the cards of different colors and play the sets of colors in order to put your pieces on the board and connect up destinations. Complete tickets so that you can get victory points, connect up Kensington with Chelsea or something and, do that. And other than that, and that district scoring, it is exactly the same as a normal Ticket to Ride game. Now, if you've never even heard of Ticket to Ride before, then you are either so brand new to gaming that you've only just started, in which case, I envy you because you got a lot to look forward to, or you've been living in a cave somewhere and you need to hurry up and come out of the cave. But this could be a nice entry into Ticket to Ride in general. I mean, it's cheap, it's portable, it gives you pretty much the feel of what Ticket to Ride will do in 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, it should not take more than that time. And then if you like this, you could always move on to one of the bigger ones, like all the ones I've got down there. But other than that, if you know what Ticket to Ride is, you kind of know what this is. It is basically 15-minute Ticket to Ride. What board do you want? I mean, in terms of component quality, it's about the same as New York. So you have a fold-out board. And again, pretty portable. Not like it could fit on a small little camping table somewhere. But where I mentioned the districts, hopefully I can sort of get them into a focus here somewhat. But yeah, you see the numbers on the various cities? Well, basically, if you connect up all of those, you'll get, in this instance, I believe that's the 4-point district. So you've got to somehow connect to all 4 of those, but not in a big circle or anything. But, it's a neat way of getting some additional points. Rulebook, nice and simple. The insert, pretty basic. I mean, what more do you need? It's got your pieces, which are the same plastic you've seen with the trains, except now the double-decker buses. Yep, London. A few little tokens. In fact, one of them seems to... Oh, no, it's in the bag. And the cards. The only slight thing with this is that the cards they're small because they're obviously in a smaller box. So you have to put up with these size cards, which are a bit like the original Ticket to Ride one, like the original USA size cards. And it'd be nice if they were bigger, but like I say, it's trying to be a portable filler Ticket to Ride. So I'm not going to fault it too much for that. They're easy enough to manipulate and pick up off the table. They're clear as day as to what they are in terms of whether they're orange or green. They have the symbol so you can tell if one's a wild. You can see in the corner that there's a way to make it language independent. So there's multiple ways that these cards work. Just because they're small is not really that big a deal. But that's pretty much all I can say about it. If you know what Ticket to Ride is, you know what this game is. But is it worth getting both this and New York? I'd say no, unless you are a devout Ticket to Ride collector. Because this is, apart from the change of map and this slight variation on the additional scoring, it's identical to New York. Same format, same ticket style, same collecting sets of cards, same connect up routes and get points for those, same get tickets. It is literally the same game. except they have changed from that weird, landmark point system in New York that I wasn't a huge fan of, and replaced it with a District 1 in here, which I think works better. So if you were to get one or the other, I would definitely say get London, and this is not biased because I'm from Britain, trust me, I don't often visit London anyway, but I think that because of that scoring change, I feel that this one gives you not necessarily a path to victory, but it gives you something else to aim for during the game, whereas in New York, I found that you kind of just did the landmarks by just going to the places anyway, but in this, you could actually aim for some of those extra district points as you're going along. It gets quite tense with 2 or 4 players, because with 2 players you don't get the double routes. I think with 3 players you unlock the double routes, so you effectively make it, nice Ticket to Ride with 3 players. There's not too open. I mean, you can still get blocked out, but it's nowhere near as bad as when you play this with 4. And I would actually dare say that 4 is the best way to play this, because it's still only going to take you about 20 minutes to play, but with 4 players, even with the double routes, oh my god, it gets tight. I mean, people will be at your throats trying to get past you as you put your first set of trains down. It's like, you've already started blocking me. Compared to some of the other Ticket to Ride maps, this one actually feels more tense compared to some of those. We're not talking Ticket to Ride Nordic countries or Africa here, but my god, it's certainly it can get pretty tight at 4 players, and even with 2, because you only have the single routes available, it can get pretty tight there as well. But that's not to say I won't play it with 3 players as well. Just expect to have a bit more of a friendly game, shall we say. So yeah, it does what it says on the tin, as did New York. It's small, it's cheap, it's portable, it's easy to play. I mean, this is a perfect game cafe material, this is. You want someone to learn Ticket to Ride, it's like, we've only got about half an hour to play a game, but I've heard of Ticket to Ride, I'd like to play it. Cha-ching! There you go, grab one of these out. You can take it on a camping trip, you could have it at work at lunchtime. I wish. The day when I have a job where somebody actually wants to play board games with me at work, it's just never going to happen. Well, best foot forward. So yeah, Ticket to Ride London, it's solid. I don't think it's like a revolutionary thing or anything like that. I give it a solid 7. I mean, it's not something I'm going to bring out all the time, but it's one of those games that I'm going to put in my bag for, every time I go to a game night, because it's small and it will fit in my bag easily enough. And certainly if I'm taking it to brand new gamers, I can certainly manage it as well. So solid 7. It's a good one. If you're an avid collector, then I suggest you grab it, because you probably already have. If you haven't got New York or London, you're thinking, well, I'll get one of them. I recommend London over New York. So, and if you're not a fan of the small ones, well, then stick with the big ones, because the big ones are still awesome. So that's my review for Ticket to Ride London. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the whole looking at my shelves and everything, and hope the lighting's to you and the sound is to your liking as well. So that's it for me. I'll see you on the next Broken Meeple review, and whether you gotta take the train, the bus, the taxi, whatever. Just remember, it's only a game. So don't block my route, okay? Take care, and I'll see you on the next review.